What's up everyone, this is FP6. I finally did it. I finally hit rank 10. I was really getting worried this season, like wondering whether or not I was going to be able to hit rank 10, but thankfully once all the leagues came back, I knew that a lot of my knowledge and skill of matchups is based in Great League, so I felt pretty confident that I was going to be able to hit it within that. Sure enough, pretty much the first set I did on one of the nights that Great League came back, I was able to snag a nice 4-1 and hit rank 10. And actually in this video you're going to see 3 sets of battles kind of leading up to rank 10, and the team that I have been using in Great League is Swampert Double Steel, so Registeel and Skarmory in the back. I don't think I'm the original creator of this line. I first saw this idea of a team comp from trainer named Guan87, really talented battler. I saw him post on Twitter about like a Swampert Double Steel line. I cannot remember if he used these 2 specific steel types in Great League, but I know that the concept of Swampert Double Steel I first saw from a post that he did on Twitter. So big shout out to him for kind of putting this idea in my head. And yeah, this Swampert Double Steel line has really been proving to work very well. Now my Swampert is running Hydro Cannon. That is pretty much required. You need that Community Day move of Hydro Cannon, and then Sludge Wave as the secondary move. Now I prefer Sludge Wave in Great League in general because all of the matchups where you would where you think you would need Earthquake, Swampert already handles those matchups with just straight up Hydro Cannon. Against the Steel types, Hydro Cannon hits so strong that you don't really need the nuke potential of Earthquake, and I find that it's way more valuable to have coverage against potential grass types for a nice nuke, or against Azumarill. Sludge Wave does like 75% damage on Azumarill. It really does a nice chunk, so if you can get a nice farm down with Mudshot and then Sludge Wave and Azumarill, it's really great. If you encounter an Azumarill in the lead with this team, I typically like to just go straight Sludge Wave and then switch into my Registeel. Typically, the Registeel is going to be the safe swap in this team. However, I'm not sure if in this video, but in some of my more recent battles with this team, I've also been utilizing Skarmory as the safe swap. Now, essentially, here's what happens when you switch in a Registeel. They typically bring out a Galarian Stunfisk and they have it in the back. But look at this. I'm already at a shield advantage because Registeel with an energy advantage is most likely going to come out with a shield advantage out of that secondary matchup anyways. Worst possible thing that someone could bring out against your Registeel would be an Alolan Marowak, right? Because both charge moves are going to be resisted, Flash Cannon and Focus Blast. And a Charizard, I mean, have you guys ever seen a Charizard in Great League? I really don't see that many Charizards, but if they bring out a fighting type, you're most likely still going to be able to draw a shield with Flash Cannon. If they bring out the Stunfisk, you're going to draw a shield with the Focus Blast because it does so much damage. Another thing that kind of shuts down the Registeel safe swap, surprisingly, is a Sableye switch in. Even if the Sableye is a little bit slow to the swap, Sableye is a very confident response to the Registeel. So that is something you need to look out for. There's a lot of battles in this video, which is good. You're going to be able to see a lot of different scenarios where I'm running with this team here. But typically, I'm going to be using Registeel as the safe swap. My Skarmory is running Sky Attack and Brave Bird. I really don't see any need for Flash Cannon anymore because Brave Bird is so freaking busted. Having Flash Cannon was nice for like the mirror match and if you get switch locked against like a Bastiodon or something, but that's already a terrible matchup anyways. And now that Brave Bird just hits for so much damage, I really think it's the way to go. It offers you some really nice nuke potential. So let's kind of commentate over these battles, and if I think of any other like intricacies with this team, I'll kind of bring them up as we go. But you saw Swampert lead into Cresselia. I'm always assuming that the Cresselia is running Grass Knot, so I got out of there. Unfortunately, my opponent was fairly quick to this Toxicroak switch in, so I wasn't able to get a shield from them because Toxicroak can tank a Flash Cannon. I'm going to Mudshot down this Toxicroak. I know Cresselia is still in the back. And Skarmory is a really great response to Cresselia as well. Unfortunately, they have a Dugong in the back, so I wasn't able to regain alignment here or come out of it with a shield advantage like I'm normally able to do on that Registeel secondary matchup. My opponent was very smart, very quick to the switch in with Toxicroak, and they managed their energy very well. Sometimes if your opponent tries to get too greedy and like farm you down, you're able to come out of that with a shield advantage, but my opponent was very smart in recognizing that Toxicroak was pretty much useless after it took out the Registeel. And so what I'm trying to do here, I knew our switch clocks were slightly out of sync. I was trying to preserve that Skarmory for the Cresselia. Unfortunately, my health is just too low on the Skarmory. I should have shielded up all of those Icy Winds, because honestly those were the attacks that were going to do the most damage. So at this point I kind of knew that I screwed up and I just let it go. My opponent played very well and had very good alignment. Good game there. So at this point in time I was actually at 2894. I have since climbed a lot. Earlier today I was in the 3100s, but I've dropped a little bit. I'm still kind of in the upper 3000s right now. So ever since Great League came back, I've gained almost 300 points, which is really exciting. I get DMs and questions all the time about, do I do coaching sessions? Yes, I do. I have a Patreon. You've seen it in the description of every single video. Unfortunately, like the friendship tier, the $10 a month friendship tier is pretty much always sold out. I think it's capped at like 75 people right now. But occasionally through the month, a spot will open up there, and that's how you can get access to coaching sessions, or you can head on over to Twitch and watch me live and redeem channel points to redeem a coaching session that way as well. So I do coaching sessions all the time. They're pretty much always off stream though with a bunch of my patrons, but yeah, so there is a way to get coaching sessions from me. Maybe at some point soon in the future I will open up those spots. I've also thought about having coaching sessions as like a one-time thing where you could, like, you know, pay a certain amount and then get a coaching, like a one-time coaching session. But we'll see. Let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in me opening that up, because I get questions about it all the time and get people asking if they can get a coaching session. So this Sableye is definitely problematic. I know it has return, but now I'm going to be able to farm this down with Registeel. In the back is that Azumarill. Oh, this match is ridiculously close. This is a very healthy Azumarill, and I'm pretty sure it has Hydro Pump because they already revealed it early in the match. But I'm so low that they can pretty much just go straight Ice Beam. So I'm going to shield up whatever this is. They do bait me with Ice Beam. Really scary. And so in my head, I'm like, man, I know that they are very close to the Hydro Pump. This is going to be so close. It's going to be so close. But they throw their energy right here, and it's an Ice Beam. I'm pretty sure they were one bubble away from getting to Hydro Pump. But the Ice Beam's just not enough to take me out there. Good game. Swampert into a Lowland Marowak. This is an amazing lead. Registeel needs to avoid this, so I pretty much blind swap Registeel into Azumarill here. Now, whoa, man, losing my voice here. Now, it is somewhat important that I maintain switch advantage, because Skarmory on a Lowland Marowak is not super great, but it's definitely more playable than Registeel on a Lowland Marowak. So I'm going to throw this Flash Cannon, but because that Hydro Pump went through, I'm actually in a pretty bad spot. Something I could have done before switching into Registeel here, I could have thrown a Sludge Wave onto this Azumarill, so I'm at least coming in with a shield advantage, or I could have brought Skarmory in onto this Azumarill after dumping some energy from my Swampert, because as you can see, I've lost switch. If this is a Hydro Pump, it's just an Ice Beam, which is really good. Able to farm that down. I'm anticipating the Alolan Marowak. It is. In the back is a Shiftry. This is why you run Sludge Wave, folks. This is why, right here. Goodbye, Shiftry, and at that point it's good. Game over. It's the same thing with running Sludge Bomb on Haunter. It's a nice surprise factor, especially against the Grass type's best possible lead right here. Out comes Escavalier. Escavalier in Great League is a pretty unique pick. Skarmory is going to resist all of Escavalier's charge moves. These counters from Escavalier are hitting for neutral damage. Escavalier, so crazy glassy though, so I'm just going to throw the Sky Attack. I did overfarm just a little bit there. And then the Stunfisk comes back out. This is great. Registeel gets to avoid the Stunfisk. And honestly, the Skarmory versus Galarian Stunfisk matchup really isn't that bad. It's way worse against the normal version of Stunfisk because those electric moves hit for super effective damage, whereas these Rock Slides just slowly chip away. Now, I am worried that this could be an Earthquake. It is, but I know that I survive it. In the back is a Whimsicott. What in the world is this little puffball doing? I'm just going to go straight Flash Cannon here. I don't think this thing learns anything that would actually threaten Registeel. And then at this point, I'm just going to go straight Flash Cannon to pressure shields, chip this thing down as much as possible. Because I know they're going to shield up anything that I throw. I do correctly shield up the Earthquake. Really good for me. I just want to pressure shields off this Stunfisk because my Swampert is pretty low. It's like almost in, I think it is in Rock Slide range, so it's actually pretty important that I get rid of this thing. At this point, I can let it go. It is an Earthquake, and now I know I'm going to be able to, I have this Hydro Cannon stored, and this is for sure going to be able to take out the Stunfisk. There we go. Good game. At this point in time, I was 29-40, so gained some nice points. Okay, it takes 5 counters for Machamp to get to Cross Chop. Obviously, Machamp wins CMP here. But it takes 5 Mud Shots for the first Hydro Cannon and then 4 Mud Shots for the next one. So I know that I slightly outpaced this Machamp. My opponent actually switches out right there, and this allows me to switch lock my Registeel against their Ferrothorn, which is like the absolute dream. Now, what I'm going to do here, I want to leave this matchup with actually not that much health and as much farmed energy as possible. So I think I'm going to go for an undercharged Focus Blast here. Just a little bit. Really nice undercharge. Now I'm going to lock on this thing all the way down. This is going to ensure that when that Machamp comes back in, I'm at least going to be able to threaten it with a move. This Thunder, totally fine. And they bring in some sort of a Psychic type. I'm assuming that this is Defense Deoxys. Oh no, it was the Machamp again. No, this is the Machamp. So I'm going to bring out Skarmory onto this. I shield up the Rock Slide, which is a really big shield there, and I'm able to farm it down really good. I know they still have the Ferrothorn. Out comes Ferrothorn. I knew it was pretty much out of energy, so I just farm it down. In the back is Hypno. So I think I go Sky Attack and then Brave Bird here. Just to ensure that I'm able to KO this Hypno. I think the Hypno just got enough energy to throw a possible Thunder Punch there. So I'm really glad that I was able to get to that Brave Bird and take that game there. Alright, Swampert into Azumarill. Not sure how I was playing this at this point in time, but now I just throw the Sludge Wave immediately. Because if there's no lag in the game, you're able to throw the Sludge Wave before the Azumarill can throw the Ice Beam, and then I switch into Registeel. So, here's the crazy thing. That was not a CMP tie swap. Azumarill was receiving the energy for Ice Beam right when I switched, or right when I threw the Sludge Wave. So, if your opponent is getting scared and spam tapping their charge move, you can pull this switch all day, and it's actually not a CMP tie switch, which is really nice. Out comes Haunter. They do Shadow Ball me, that's fine. I'm already at a shield advantage. My Swampert is very healthy. I know that they still have the Azumarill. So I will shield this up. Really nice bait from my opponent. I was hoping that that was a Shadow Ball, and now they're not allowing me to farm up as much as I would have liked. This unfortunately was a CMP tie, but I'm just going to take out this Haunter here. And they double shield the Haunter, which is pretty crazy. So I'm going to get as much energy as possible. For sure going to shield this up. The Azumarill threw its energy onto Registeel. It was a Shadow Ball, so really good shield. Out comes their own Skarmory. Honestly, I think I should have just gone for double Brave Bird here. or tried to run out this switch clock a little bit more, because we see empty tie right here. They still have the Azumarill. Yeah, this is an unfortunate scenario because of like where the switch clock is out. And I should have like swapped, because I'm like barely gonna survive this sky attack. I switch now, but I have like no HP. And at this point, there's really nothing I can do. They switch into Azumarill, but I needed to throw energy onto Azumarill anyways. Hydro Cannon's not enough to take it out. So my opponent put themselves in a really nice position there. The Skarmory mirror match is very tough when like shields are down. Ideally, you don't want to be the first one to like throw your Brave Bird to drop your defense, right? So this is a good lead for Swampert. My opponent is staying in here, so I'm able to throw a Hydro Cannon. I will mirror shields. Obviously, I could bring out Skarmory onto this, but and look at this. They somehow switched into Azumarill there. Very nice catch by them. I bring out Registeel here to ensure that it avoids the Toxicroak. And this Azumarill is in double Flash Cannon range now, which is really good. It's actually good that I threw the Hydro Cannon, because this just guarantees that double Flash Cannon is going to be enough to take out this Azumarill. They do not have Hydro Pump. I'm assuming they have Ice Beam Play Rough. They're able to get to another move here. Unfortunate. I'm going to throw this Flash Cannon, but I know the Toxicroak is going to come back in and farm me down, which is really not good. I'm going to like barely not be able to get to a Flash Cannon. So close. So close. That would have been so nice. Skarmory is going to resist all of Toxicroak's charge moves. Out comes Umbreon. So at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe I can throw a Brave Bird and then switch into Swampert. But as you will see, my opponent totally reads my play here, and they shield it up. Really nice play. And then at this point, like, Swampert doesn't have that much value anymore. I know that they still have the Toxicroak with stored energy, so unfortunately, this is a really bad scenario for me because Umbreon is just so bulky. Skarmory can't really hang with it right now. And because I let the Swampert go, I don't have any more room to clear a potential Brave Bird debuff. So at this point, I know it's pretty much game over. Brave Bird would not be enough to KO the Umbreon at that range. And I'm going to be getting hit by another move. Anyways, the Toxicroak is going to come out and could even counter me down because I'm out of energy, but they can just throw the Mud Bomb. And I think this is actually going to be just enough to take me out. Yeah, it is. Very good game. My opponent for sure outplayed me. Okay, this was the set. This is the set where I hit rank 10. And I was just getting absolutely blessed with leads. Like, I could not ask for a better scenario. I build up a lot of energy on my Swampert before switching into my Registeel because this Registeel Skarmory matchup is so positive for Registeel. It doesn't even matter how behind on energy I am. The dream scenario is if I leave this matchup with stored energy. So I think what I end up doing here is throwing a Flash Cannon with no bubbles. Or I might just fully charge this at this point. Yeah, I'm just going to fully charge it to guarantee that I don't get hit by a Brave Bird. But I still maxed myself out at 100 energy. I know the Stunfisk is going to come back in, and Registeel is a monster, able to get to this Focus Blast. That is so huge. They don't even shield it. This is amazing. Swampert's going to win CMP against Stunfisk, so I'm just going to instantly Hydro Cannon spam. See if they want to preserve this. I get a shield. I'm one Mud Shot away from another Hydro Cannon. This is worth a shield. It is an Earthquake, big shield. In the back is Venusaur. This is over. Skarmory's a complete wall. Good game. Pure team comp win there. Swampert into Stunfisk. You love to see it. This is the dream when people lead Stunfisk into this. Out comes Machamp. Dude, the Shadow Machamp switch-in is actually very scary. Thank goodness my opponent overfarmed a little bit too much. They now have to commit their shield before I do. This is worth a shield though. I want to make sure that I maintain switch here so that my Swampert can get aligned to the Stunfisk. I knew that this was just going to be double cross chop, and I can barely survive it. And I'm able to air slash it down. That was very close. Very scary there. Stunfisk is going to come out and mud shot me down for sure. I'm able to get to a last second sky attack, which is some nice chip damage for sure. Gonna let this go down. For sure gonna be bringing out Swampert. I can survive an earthquake from this range, so I'm gonna let this through. It is an earthquake. My opponent switches into Driftblim. This is actually a problematic scenario for me here. They shield up that Hydro Cannon. Okay, my Swampert is low in health and out of energy. This is pretty scary. Thank goodness they got a little bit too greedy with the overfarm, and I was able to land that Flash Cannon before they threw a move. This is a Shadow Ball. I have to let it go. I anticipated this being an Icy Wind. Oh, actually, it was a Shadow Ball, so that's a huge shield. I can overfarm just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And honestly, my Registeel is still healthy enough to where this Stunfisk has to throw a move, or I'm going to get to Focus Blast. So I just don't even allow that to happen. I just switch into my Swampert, and I'm just going to throw the Hydro Cannon here. Good game. Really, really favorable lead for me, for sure. Another great lead. So good. This was past midnight. I was pretty tired, and I'm like, keep it coming. Keep these team comps coming. So I build up to 2 Hydro Cannons that time. Because I got Registeel that's just going to shut this Skarmory down. It's so great. It's even, it's kind of even better if they throw Brave Bird first, and then you're able to land a Focus Blast, because it'll one-shot it. Because this is like, it puts Skarmory in this awkward health range. So they Brave Bird now. And I get a little too greedy here, unfortunately. And I lose Switch. What? That was not good. You should not play it like that. I got way too greedy. Now I'm going to Mudshot down a Skarm. I literally have 100 energy. Okay, that was not a great play. I was getting a little too fancy. Out comes some sort of a Psychic type. Oh, it's a Mew? And then they switch in their Stunfisk back into my Swampert. Which is an interesting play. And they don't shield the Hydro Cannon. So I'm just going to stay in here and just absolutely go to town. Okay, Stunfisk is gone. At this point, I'm going to say both shields for Skarmory and just fast move down this Mew. I get a shield there. I'm going to let it go. I'm assuming that this Mew is running Surf and Wild Charge. That's the typical Mew moveset right now. Gonna shield up whatever they throw. Fast move it all the way down. Who needs to throw a charge move? Good game there. That was a little bit scary. I kind of played that secondary matchup horribly. Another amazing lead. It's a Fire Fang Mawile. Out comes Vigoroth. So I don't have a direct counter to Vigoroth, so I'm gonna soften it up with a Hydro Cannon and then bring out Skarmory. This just ensures that I maintain alignment, and I can farm this all the way down now, and so when that Mawile comes out, I'm going to have so much stored energy that I can at least still threaten it a little bit. I don't have to commit any shields here. I want to have minimal health to be farmed down by the Mawile. I need to keep in mind that my Swampert is out of energy. These Body Slams are resisted. This is totally fine. And I'm able to fast move it down. I know the Mawile. Oh my gosh, it's a Gallade. So I'm gonna double Sky Attack this thing, and then I think I switch into Registeel immediately, because Registeel actually still has play against Mawile, especially when shields are down. My opponent is farming up about 1,000,000 energy here, so I'm just gonna throw a Flash Cannon, and this is gonna one-shot the Gallade. Out comes Mawile. There is no chance there. Good game. The final match of this set. I get another great lead. Man. Okay, I'm gonna throw Hydro Cannon to soften this up. And then I think I switch into Registeel. Okay. Okay. Spoiler alert, I lose this match. And I don't actually remember why I lost it, so let's try to figure out why that happened here. Okay, they shield. I should shield here. Yo. I should have shielded. Because Hypno can win Switch if they shield this. No! No! Well, see, at this point, I'm just going to take this 2 shield advantage. Ah, this is such a bummer. Because this Hypno has Fire Punch, which hits Skarmory for super effective. So I'm going to build up to a lot of energy here. Force the CMP tie. This Hydro Cannon is going to be enough to take it out. They stole the Mawile. I have 2 shields, though. It's a Razor Leaf Ludicolo in the back. And unfortunately, Razor Leaf Ludicolo is going to shred my Swampert. It doesn't even matter that I have shields. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to throw this Brave Bird. I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of this thing. It's not even enough to take it out. And then I just get melted. I have to Mud Shot down this and hopefully get to a Sludge Wave, but I'm not going to be able to do it. And it's not enough to KO. Best of luck in your rank 10 journey out there, or whatever rating you're at. This is the last week of this season, so best of luck in that push. I was able to hit rank 10. Super exciting. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys like the content. And thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.